President Biden endorsing a potential ban on congressional stock trading. The president saying in an interview with left-leaning advocacy group A More Perfect Union, quote, "Nobody in the Congress should be able to make money in the stock market while they're in Congress." Here with more, we've got Yahoo Finance's own Ben Werschkul. Ben, what would a ban look like and what are some of the potential hurdles?
Sure, I'll take the hurdles first because there's a lot of hurdles that remain on it. As you mentioned there, this is an entry by Biden here into an issue that he's frankly avoided for 4 years, for almost his entire term. His aides would often say, this is a question for lawmakers. The White House doesn't want to get involved. So it's sort of notable he's doing it, but it's a very kind of last minute entry here too. And this comes after 4 years of efforts on Capitol Hill. There's a bill in the House that has 79 co-sponsors that gets reintroduced every year and kind of never quite makes it to the finish line. It's going to happen again next year, so we'll see there. So it's the issues behind it. To get to the other part of your question of what it actually looks like are part of the reason for why this is such a trickier issue than you might think, because the summary of a lot of these efforts is a ban on lawmakers trading stocks, their spouses, and their dependent children. So basically their immediate family, banning it. But there's issues with that. If you own a family farm that's an S corp that could be considered an investment, do you have to sell that? That's one thing that the people that draft this have been struggling with. And then the other issue is how wide to make it. There's another bill that would include the president and the vice president. That gets it more controversial. There was another bill to do the Supreme Court to bring them in under this. That sort of blew up the effort a couple years ago. So it's a more complicated issue than you think, than that kind of quick summary of it. And it's also the kind of issue of lawmakers, whether they're actually ever going to police themselves, for sure.
Well, Ben, I think you summarized it perfectly, and it is such an important issue because lawmakers do make a lot of money off of the stock market. This is something that Nancy Pelosi and her husband have received significant criticism for. And I'm curious, in your reporting, if the timing of this has come up with any of your sources, because I've wondered to what extent this move from Biden at the 11th hour could be in direct response to the moves we saw from Pelosi that sort of ended his chances at a second term in the White House. Have you heard anything about this as a sort of tit-for-tat move in response to Pelosi?
I'm not sure about it back and forth with Pelosi. I think there's a definite sense that this is, an 11th hour move that if he'd done a year ago, might have been much more significant than doing it now. Congress is literally trying to get their last bill of the year. Yesterday, they unveiled it to get it into law by Friday so they can get out of here for the holidays. So it's definitely seen as like a kind of symbolic move more than anything else. There is a mood amongst some of the activist types I keep in touch with of kind of happiness that he's saying it, but definitely tempered by the political reality here too, and sort of questions about what Trump would be, because he's sort of sent mixed signals on this issue as well.
Right, and it's a fascinating issue that continues to come up but continues to go nowhere. It's kind of tough to vote against your ability to invest in the stock market. It's a great way to retire, as we cover all the time here at Yahoo Finance. Ben, thank you as always. Really appreciate it.